welcome to Rain Francis Art for Kids. My name is Rain. In this series, Christmas Party, we paint and draw everything that has to do with Christmas and the holidays. So let's have some fun. Today I'm going to show you how to draw Santa Claus. So let's begin. This is what you'll need for today's drawing. You're going to need a piece of paper. I have a dollar store drawing pad here. It's 8.5 by 11 inches wide. You're going to need a pencil and an eraser. And this is always fun to have. If you have a paintbrush that you haven't used for paint, I got this at the dollar store. It's really good for brushing things off of your page. We're also going to need some color, and today I'm using coloring pencils. We're going to use red for Santa's hat. You can hear my dog drinking his water in the background. I'm going to use peach for Santa's face. Now, Santa does not have to have a peach colored face. You can have any color you want for his face. But let's make sure he has a bit of a pink nose because he's been outside and his nose is cold. I've got a black coloring pencil and a very light blue coloring pencil. Now, instead of the black coloring pencil, usually I like to use something like this. This is a fine tip black marker, and a fine tip just means that it has a small tip at the top. It's optional, but if you have one, it's good for outlining. So let's clear our space and draw our Santa. And dust our page off here, or brush our page off here. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to draw Santa when my dog settles down. So the first thing we're going to do is draw his hat. So watch how I draw his hat. It's kind of a straight line like this, and then round on each side, and not a straight line, but kind of a curved line underneath. That's the first part of his hat. And the top of his hat is going to be like this. And it comes out to a point. And watch, I'm going just like that. And then I'm going to draw a line here. And then he's got a little pom-pom at the bottom. Okay, so we've got Santa's hat. Now the next thing we're going to do is draw his beard. Okay, now watch how I draw his beard. I'm not going right to the edge of his hat, just a little bit on the inside. And I'm going to do a little curve in, a little curve out, and a little point at the bottom. Can you see that? I'm just going to move my canvas up to make sure you can see it all. Okay, there you go. And I'm going to do the same on this side, not at the very end here, just a little bit in, curve in, out, and we'll make that point at the bottom. Okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to draw where his nose would be. And he's got a big round nose, and I'm going to put his nose right about here. My circles are always lopsided, but that's his lopsided nose. And we're going to draw his mustache, and his mustache comes out either side of his nose. Now watch what I'm doing. I'm making him a nice big kind of curvy mustache like that, and I'll do the same thing on the other side. Up, pointy, and it joins in the middle there. And he's got a mouth. He's going to have a nice open mouth smile. And of course we have to do his eyes, right? I love those oval eyes. So right above the middle of his mustache, I'm going to draw oval eyes, these big oval eyes like this, and an oval inside. And I'm going to do the same thing here, a big oval eye and an oval on the inside. Now we have to draw some kind of face on him because he's not all beard and mustache. So we're going to draw a curved line from the top here just until it meets his mustache. And the same thing here. A curved line until it meets his mustache. And there we go. Now while we have our pencil, let's just put in a little bit of detail, okay? I would say just about halfway down his beard, let's just do a curved line like this. And about here, we'll do a curved line this way. About here, we'll do a curved line going up. And maybe one over here too. That's detail that we'll work on after with the blue color. So that's our Santa Claus. Let me make sure you can see everything. Perfect. And I just thought I would like to do something else actually. I'm going to make his beard a little wider. Like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase these lines. I just decided I wanted to do that spur of the moment. I hope you guys don't mind. I just wanted his beard to be a little thicker. But you know, that's why we have erasers. That's why we're learning how to do things. And you can keep, you know, a couple of little points if you want. But I am going to go in and put a detail line right there. And then a little one here. Okay? And if you want, you could make his beard really long or really wide. It's up to you. You can make his mustache coming out. You can make his hat shorter. This is your drawing. I'm just trying to guide you to show you how to start it all off and then color it in. And I hope that you'll do this on your own too. If you decide you want to do another Santa Claus with a body, go ahead and do it on your own. And just take your time, and if you don't like something, just erase it. No big deal. So why don't we start with our red color? His hat is red. The top of his hat here is red. This is going to stay white, and this is going to stay white. So let's go ahead and start coloring in the top of his hat with our red coloring pencil. You could use a marker for this. You could use a crayon. If you're using a coloring pencil or a crayon, make sure you turn it once in a while. Turn it so you don't wear it all down on one side. And with coloring pencils, we don't have to press down too hard. Because if we press down too hard, we might break the tip of our pencil. And also, pressing down too hard can hurt your hand. If you're pressing down too hard, and your hand starts hurting, you might not feel like drawing after all, so we want to make this fun. And when I'm drawing, I always draw in circles. When I'm coloring in, I should say, always in circles, because I don't like the way that straight lines look. Unless I want something to look like a straight line, of course. So I'm just being careful here not to get any of that red into this part of his hat, because I want that to stay white. We might put a little blue in there just to make it look interesting, but for the most part, we want it to stay white. Don't forget to turn your pencil once in a while. That's good. How you guys doing? Well, I'm going to go ahead and put a second layer of red. And all that means is that I'm coloring it in a second time, okay? That's why we don't have to press down very hard, because we're always going to add layers, at least 2 layers. Because if you look, you can definitely see the difference between 1 layer and 2 layers, right? 2 layers is much more vibrant. Don't forget to turn your pencil or your crayon. And you know, if you wanted to, you could add 3 layers. You could color it in a 3rd time. That's all up to you. Add as many layers as you want to get the color that you want. It's definitely the time of year to be drawing Santa Claus. Santa Claus and December and Christmas, they all go together. I love Santa Claus. Were you a good boy or girl this year? My parents used to always say, you have to be good or you'll be on Santa's naughty list and you won't get any presents at Christmas. Well, I was always on the good list. Oh, I went outside here, so I'm going to show you what I'll do to fix that. I'm going to take my pencil and just make his hat a little wider. And I'm going to go in and just color that in. You see how that works? We can kind of cheat a little bit there. Nobody will know the difference but us. See what happens when I start talking too much? I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing. All right, so that's 2 layers. I'm just going to go over and do a quick 3rd layer, 3 layers, just to make it a little more red. Because the red pencil that I have is a little bit light. And I really want Santa's hat to be a nice, vibrant red. All right, can you see the difference now between 2 and 3 layers? It's a little more red there, huh? And really, I'm not pressing down hard at all. Not at all. And I'm turning my pencil. I want to make sure I don't wear it all down on one side. And I'll just pay attention to what I'm doing so I don't get any red into that part of the hat there. All right, Santa's hat's done. Now, his mouth is going to be red, so I'm going to go ahead and just color in his mouth. And I'm going to add a 2nd layer. There we go. I'm finished with my red. Now I'm going to take my peach color and I'm going to color in his skin. Now, like I said, Santa does not have to have peach skin. You can choose any color you want. When you're coloring in the skin, try not to get any into the eyes, the nose, or his mustache and his beard. Try to stay inside that shape, okay? Take your time. I'm just being careful now. I don't want to get any peach color into his beard or his mustache or his eye. And I'm turning my pencil. Now I'm being careful not to get any in his nose. Or onto his hat. This is where we have to pay attention to detail. But I want you to learn how to do that, because when you pay attention to detail, you concentrate. And when you concentrate on something and take your time, you learn how to be patient. And when you're patient, you're very relaxed. So you see, it all comes down to being relaxed while you're drawing. Just going to be careful not to get any into his eye or his mustache here. And I'm going to put a quick quick second layer. I'm not going to be too detailed about the second layer. I'm just going over areas that I think need a little more peach. There we go. My peach is all done. Let's give Santa a pink nose, because like I said, he's been out in the cold. He's got a pink nose. So I'm just going to fill in his nose with pink. And again, I'm going to try not to get any pink outside of the nose, especially the mustache, because his mustache is going to stay white. Just blew off a little piece of my pink tip, crumbled off, so I didn't want that to get into the peach. All right, I'm going to go ahead right away and apply a second layer. You guys know already, if you watch my videos, we always usually put a second layer, and you know what that means, right? Coloring it in a second time. There we go. Pink nose. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take our light blue color, and this is one time we're not going to put in more layers, and we're going to actually try to draw or color as light as possible. All right? So as light as possible. Remember where we put these little detail lines? I want you to color in under each curve. Now this may sound silly as I said under, because it looks like I'm coloring over it, but wherever it curves, I want you to put the blue color. So it curves this way, put it in the round part under. So this one curved that way, you put it in the round part. You see what I mean? Here too. Just in that little round part. And you don't have to color the whole beard in. Just under the round part. It just gives a little bit of shading to his beard, so it's not just a stark white color. Okay? And you could do this at the bottom of his beard too, just a little bit at the bottom. And we can also put a little bit in his mustache, very, very lightly going over. Not the whole mustache, but just a little. Just to make it look different from the white. You may not even be able to see that I put in any there, but it's there. It's very, very light. Okay? Now we are going to outline, so you can take either your black coloring pencil, or like me, you can take a black marker, and I'm going to outline everything that I drew with pencil. And again, this is where pay attention to detail. Pay attention to what you're doing, and take your time. There's no rush for any of this. I just want you to learn how to be patient while you're drawing, pay attention to detail, and enjoy. All right, this is looking pretty good. Are you guys happy with what you're doing so far? All right, Santa's looking great. And you can also outline those little detailed parts of the beard as well. Like I said, anywhere that you colored or that you drew with pencil, just outline that with your black. And we still have to color in his eyes after, but we'll just do all the detail first, Then we'll color in his eyes. How you guys doing? He looks like he's ready to drink a big mug of hot chocolate because he's probably been out in the snow at his workshop, checking on the elves, seeing how they're doing with the toys, checking on the reindeer in the stables. Mrs. Claus probably has a nice big cup of hot chocolate ready for him. All right, so now why don't we color in his pupils black, okay? Just in these two spots here, let's color them in black. Try not to get black outside of the pupils. So just pay attention to what you're doing. We'll make his eyes nice and big. I don't know if you can hear in the background, there's a blue jay outside my window. Can you hear him squeaking? Blue jay, for those who don't know, is a bird that has some blue feathers. They squawk very loud sometimes. There. I like how that looks. Let's put a little bit of detail. I want Santa to have some cheeks. So what I'm going to do is at the side of his mouth, very, very small little semicircles. That gives the illusion that he has cheeks. And I think our Santa is all done. He's ready for Christmas Eve. So the last thing we always do, as you know, we always sign our work because I want you to be very, very proud of what you've just done today. I really hope that you enjoyed this lesson, my friends. And remember, Mom and Dad, if you post your kids' art on Instagram, don't forget to tag me. The link is in the description below or in the About section of my channel. So we'll see you next time on Christmas Party. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.